What's going on, everybody? This is Manual POV, and today we're talking about one of the most satisfying things you can learn in a manual transmission car, and that is nailing that perfectly smooth shift. So if you're tired of that jerky, lurching feeling you get in between shifts, you're in the right place. And that's the best news that you can hear, because it's not some expensive mechanical problem, it's a skill. It's absolutely something that you can learn and perfect and get better over time. So today we're going to break that technique down step by step so that you can shift like a pro and your passengers will finally stop spilling their coffee. Okay, first things first, why should you even care about shifting smoothly? Well, yeah, it's about not jostling your passengers around, but it goes way deeper than just comfort. Okay, so a jerky shift isn't just annoying. It's literally causing extra wear and tear on your clutch and your gearbox. But with a smooth shift, you're protecting your car's parts, you're keeping your passengers happy, and let's be honest, it just looks and feels amazing. You look like you actually know what you're doing behind the wheel. All right, let's get into the how. So I want you to think of this as a two-part motion. It's kind of like a coordinated dance between your left foot on the clutch and your right hand on the shifter. So let's break down each part of that dance. So at its heart, it all boils down to these two fundamental actions, and they have to happen in the perfect sequence. So let's start with the first one, engaging that clutch. And if you can get this timing right, you're already halfway there to a perfect shift. Okay, so here's the absolute key. Your foot has to beat your hand to the punch. The clutch has to be pressed all the way in before you even think about moving that gear shifter. If you rush it, or if you try to do both at the same time, you get this thing called half clutching. And that's the number one cause of that horrible grinding sound or the car bucking like a rodeo bull. Okay, now let's talk about the hand. Now the secret is not to use brute strength, because your gearbox actually wants to help you find the next gear. You just have to guide it in the right direction. Okay, so for the shifter itself, what you're aiming for is a straight, confident movement right into the gate of the next gear. No hesitation, just very smooth. So you just want to keep your hand relaxed on the shifter. You don't want to be shifting too aggressively or kind of holding the shifter in a death grip, because that's going to make it harder for the gear to naturally fall into the gate of the next gear. Okay, so we got the first half of the shift nailed down, and now it's time for the second part, the release. So this part is all about the coordination of your feet, and to be honest, this is where the magic of a buttery smooth shift happens. So this one is totally non-negotiable. If you just let your foot fly off the clutch, this is what we call dumping the clutch. The car is going to lurch forward every single time. The real secret is a slow, controlled, gradual release. So when your left foot is slowly getting off the clutch, your right foot has to come in and be part of that action too. They both have to work together as a team to execute this idea of RPM matching. Now that sounds super technical, but I promise that idea is pretty simple. As you shift up to a higher gear, the engine revs naturally drop. So all you're trying to do is apply just enough gas as you release the clutch to meet the engine revs at this new lower RPM. When you get this right, the shift feels almost invisible. It's almost like driving an automatic car at that point. So the easiest way to think of it is kind of like a seesaw. So as the gas pedal goes down, the clutch pedal slowly comes up. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the common pitfalls. And if you feel like you're still having that jerky movement, then chances are you're doing one of these common mistakes. Okay, so the first one is dumping the clutch, which we just talked about, releasing the clutch too early or too quickly. And the second one is over revving, giving it too much gas, which is just going to make the car jump. And the last one is resting your hand on the shifter. Now, a constant light pressure on the shifter is just going to cause wear and tear over time on your gearbox. Okay, so let's put all of it together and we'll try this drill, which will help you improve your muscle memory on the clutch pedal and on the shifter too. So first you're gonna find a safe flat spot that you can practice this in. What you're gonna focus on is making sure that you're going as slow as possible from first to second gear, and you're making that shift as smooth as possible. So all you're gonna do is start in first gear and make sure that when you're shifting to second, you're taking your time and you're slowly releasing the clutch so that you're not feeling any jerky movements in the gearbox. So from first to second, I'm releasing the clutch extremely slow, and you notice how I didn't feel any jerky or lurching movements when I was shifting from first to second. So let's try that again. So shift into first, take off in first, and remember, take your time when you're switching from first to second gear. So I'm in first right now. Slowly release the clutch. Boom, there you go. So first, you're driving in first, clutch in, shift to second, and slowly release the clutch. Notice how I didn't feel any jerk, any jerky movements. The car wasn't lurching forward. It's a very smooth transition between first and second gear. Driving in first, clutch in, shift to second, slowly release the clutch. Now it's time to move on to the next part of the drill, which is moving from second to third gear. So it's the same principle. Now you're gonna find that moving from second to third gear is gonna naturally feel a lot smoother, just because the car is already in motion. So there's enough force acting on the car already to easily guide that shifter into the next gate of the next gear. So first gear, shift to second, driving around in second, so I'm driving around in second, and same principle, clutch in, third gear, slowly release the clutch. So again, I'm moving in second gear, clutch in, shift to third, and slowly release the clutch. So your main objective is a smooth transition between gears. Speed will come later. Don't worry about, you're not going fast enough or you're not giving enough gas. Your only focus should be on making a smooth shift between gear 1, gear 2, and gear 3. So practice this between 10 to 20 times, and I guarantee your muscle memory will improve in both your leg and in your hand. So there you have it. Practice makes perfect, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.